Hello and welcome to Atomas Energy. So this is our Atomas-1 Fission Reactor. So this game is called Criticality and it's made by a certain indie developer on itch.io. So I've been working towards building this fission reactor today. And the thing is, I can't save my progress in this game. So I have to resort to recording the actual operation of my fission reactors in order to sort of remember the layouts and things like that. So this is what I'm doing here with Atomas Energy. So of course, we here at Atomas Energy provides renewable energy sources including nuclear power. Actually, that's all we do right now in the company. We only provide nuclear power, and we do that by nuclear fission. So of course, fusion's not here quite yet, but nuclear fission is a well understood way or method of harvesting electricity or harvesting energy from essentially natural resources. So the basic premise of a nuclear reactor is we have these water pumps which pump water from the ground. Of course, they're water pumps after all, and these water travel through these pipes. And the reason why we have these water pumps far away from the actual core is because the core generates so much heat, especially because we're using thorium right now or plutonium. Um, we're generating so much heat with the core that we don't want the heat to immediately turn the water that's being pumped up to the surface into steam. Because if that happens, these guys will overpressurize and soon explode. So we don't want that to happen. So of course, the main way we gather energy is by, of course, piping the water to this plutonium core, and the plutonium core heats up the water into super hot steam, and that super hot steam travels through these steam pipes, and we actually originally just had these cooling towers harvest energy themselves. Each of these cooling towers have their own tiny turbines inside them that gather the electricity or the energy. But we also place these small turbines right in the front. Now, the reason why we have this bypass duct over here is because if we only let the small turbines operate on their own, it will sort of have a choked flow, because the water flows in both directions. It doesn't just flow this way, but it also flows this way. So there will be a buildup of steam. I mean steam, not water. There will be a buildup of steam, and of course, we don't want things to overpressurize and explode. Now, because we're using a plutonium core here, the temperature ranges between 400 and 600 degrees Celsius, and um, of course, if the temperature goes up too high, it's going to explode and cause a meltdown. We don't want that to happen because here, when a meltdown happens, the explosion travels through the pipes and damages even the cooling towers. So we don't want that to happen. We don't want anything to explode in here. And one way to keep our heat in check is through these heat sinks over here, and each of these guys take away the heat. And of course, the thing is, we can't keep these guys too warm or else they're gonna melt, so I have some water that pipes through them or that sort of connects to them. So basically, the Atomas-1 nuclear reactor right now is composed primarily of plutonium cores or plutonium reactors. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 plutonium cores, and we have a bunch of turbines, and of course these guys. So Atomas Energy, once we get to that upgrade, we'll be able to upgrade our cooling towers into actual smokestacks, which not only will dissipate the steam and the pressure, but also generate energy on their own and ambiently cool structures around them. So here at Atomas Energy, we've had some struggle with meltdowns in the past, but don't worry, our radioactive waste disposal team were able to neutralize of course, the stray nuclear or radioactive matter that came from the nuclear blast or the meltdown blast. So this is our Atomas-1 nuclear reactor. We originally started with so you can see here in our structures menu, we originally started with a uranium-235 core, and then we slowly progressed to a thorium core, and after a thorium core, we had a plutonium core. And from there, we will transition soon to a sodium core, and that's what the ATOMAS-2 nuclear reactor will have. And of course, we'll be using things like the regular turbine. These are just small turbines we have right now. We have the regular turbine and the much risky but high gain huge turbine. Oh, there it is. Got our condensation tower. All right. So right now, the Atomas-1 nuclear reactor generates around between 3.8 and 3.9 megawatts of electricity. So that's essentially what we generate. So as you can see now, I just unlocked it. These are condensation tower smokestack, and I can replace one of these guys with it already. So yep, we'll be incorporating this in our ATOMAS-2 nuclear reactor. So right now, the plutonium cores sort of go through a cycle of cooling down and heating up real fast to the point where they start getting damaged. But the good thing is that in this game, when there are no more problems with a certain structure, they self-repair. So we essentially have teams down there that, because this is all just a simulation or a sort of simulated view of the actual nuclear reactor, we have teams down there that actually repair. We have tons of teams of engineers down there that, and technicians of course, that repair the pipes or the heat sinks or even the core itself whenever it gets damaged from being heated too much. So yeah, this is it. This is the Atomas-1 nuclear reactor, all plutonium powered, and soon we're gonna transition to a sodium based nuclear fission core.